Illinois is set to receive billions of federal dollars for roads, bridges, and other projects. This after Congress passed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan with bipartisan support. So what's next for the president's signature, quote, Build Back Better package, which has also been called the Human Infrastructure Bill? Here to talk about that and much more are Congressman Rodney Davis, a Republican from Taylorville, Congresswoman Marie Newman, a Democrat from Chicago's Southwest Side, and Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy, a Democrat from Schaumburg. Everyone, thank you again for being here. Let's start with U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and what he said about the infrastructure bill's passage.
This is the largest investment in roads, bridges, and highways since the creation of the interstate highway system, including the largest investment in our bridges ever, so that we can avoid devastating closures and disruptive collapses.
Congressman Krishnamurthy, today Illinois Democrats and industry leaders said #1 on their wish list is the traffic-clogged I-290, also known as the Eisenhower Expressway. Is that a project that will get funded by this new infrastructure bill?
I hope so. The 290 goes through my district. Also, the Elgin-O'Hare Expressway, which neither reaches Elgin nor O'Hare, Paris. I would put that somewhere on the top 10 if we can get to that. But in all seriousness, you know, this bill is a historic investment in Illinois' infrastructure. $17 billion will come directly to Illinois, not to mention all the other competitively bid grants. And so we're going to have at least $10 billion just for highways, $4 billion for roads, bridges repaired, $660 million for our airports, and the list goes on. And it's a tremendous a boost to our economy and competitiveness long term.
And Congressman Davis, you've been supportive of infrastructure in the past. You even met with President Biden about this, but you were ultimately a no on this bill. How come?
Well, because ultimately it was tied to another bill. It was going to be $1.75 billion or even more. It's going to consist of tax increases and consist of policies that are going to make any infrastructure investment dollar go less far. I'm very concerned that that is the next step. And when some of my moderate Democrat friends decided to sign a letter stating that once a CBO score came out, they would be in favor of spending even more money on things that will cripple our economy, do nothing to address inflation, then I was a no.
Well, but to be clear, this bill was decoupled from that bill, and it had a vote on its own. So are you saying you still think the two are linked?
Only in D.C. would these two bills be considered decoupled. It was a vote last week, sure, but there were a lot of negotiations amongst the Democrats to ensure that we're going to see a vote on a program that is going to be tax increases on every single American family, cost increases on every family, and policies that are going to continue to cripple our economy and do nothing to address inflation.
And we'll talk about that human infrastructure bill in a moment, but Congresswoman Newman, other big needs here in Illinois, bridges, the replacement of lead pipes, wastewater treatment, public transit improvements like the extension of the Red Line South, are those projects that will get funded in full by this bill?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be receiving right around $1.7 billion to address wastewater, all of our flooding issues, possibly connecting some of those smaller towns in the perimeter that were not connected to the deep tunnel. So these are incredibly important things that will correct long-term wrongs. In addition, that we have, just in my district alone, we have 6 bridges that are at a D. We absolutely have to create safer bridges.
Lots of bridges in Illinois getting poor grades, especially along the Eisenhowers. Those leaders talked about this morning. And let's turn to that human infrastructure bill. With the ink still drying on the main infrastructure bill, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has high hopes, she says, for the Build Back Better bill. Take a look.
That is our plan, to pass the bill the week of November 15th, as is indicated in our statements that were made at the time of passing the infrastructure bill, and we're very proud of that.
Congressman Krishnamurthy, will this bill be voted on, as Speaker Pelosi and Congressman Davis said?
I think so, but let's just be very clear. These were delinked. They were not linked together. In fact, some people wanted them to be linked together, and they were not. And so for 200 Republicans to vote against it, and then to move to try to hold the 13 Republicans who voted for it basically accountable and to seek retribution against them in terms of potentially removing them from their committee assignments is reprehensible. This was a bipartisan package that should have received a lot more Republican support. The human infrastructure package, also called the Build Back Better Act, will enhance our productivity as a country. Just two things I want to focus on. One is help with childcare assistance. Millions of working moms dropped out of the workforce during the pandemic because they couldn't find access to childcare as their children were home from school. And so now we're providing that assistance so that they can go back to work, they can produce more goods and services, and tamp down inflationary pressures. Similarly, I authored the provisions that invest into workforce training and skills-based and vocational education, which are direly needed to address the skills shortage in this country. Again, you equip people with the skills to go to work, to take the jobs of today and tomorrow. They can produce more goods and services, and again, make us more productive over the long run.
Congressman Davis, you talked about your fear of tax hikes and runaway spending in this bill. Are there things, though, elements that Republicans could support, like paid family leave or child care tax credits, extending those?
Again, at some point, we have to say at what cost? At some point, we've got to get our economy back to where we were pre-pandemic. We need to look at this pandemic as a risk management operation rather than a zero tolerance operation. We're going to have to live with COVID the rest of our lives. Let's make sure that we limit the risk and let's get back to our economic gains we had. You know, when it comes to kicking Republicans off of committees, I have to remind my colleagues on this show that the only people that have ever kicked our colleagues off committees are Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats in Washington. I respect all of my colleagues to cast a vote that they think is best for their district. But I think there are some questions that have been raised since this bill has passed that made me even more comfortable voting against it. We had Secretary Buttigieg talking about bridges that are racist. I mean, how many billions of dollars are going to be spent tearing down so-called racist bridges when we ought to be investing in the traffic jam that we know as the Eisenhower on 290? We ought to be investing in building better roads in downstate Illinois. I'm just not sure that this administration and frankly, Governor Pritzker's administration is going to be able to put these dollars to the best use.
To be clear, Congressman, the Secretary was referring to urban planning decisions that a lot of historians say split up neighborhoods in places like Chicago. But I want to ask Congresswoman Newman.
Then how much is going to be spent to tear these down? How many billions are going to be spent to tear down bridges that are still operational in areas because mistakes were made centuries ago and then decades ago? And then all of a sudden, you don't have the investment to address the red line issues you mentioned. You don't have the investment to address the Eisenhower issues.
A lot of questions you still have here. Congresswoman Newman, back to that human infrastructure bill. You know, this still all hinges on what two moderate Democratic senators, Manchin and Sinema, think. Is there a bill that they support that progressives like yourself would still support?
Well, I think there is, my colleague Raja said that it is critical that we have things like universal pre-K and all of those things. But here's two interesting stats that are very important to discern is that 4.7 million home healthcare jobs will be needed by 2028. 10,000 of our citizens turn 65 every day. So this home health care investment is really, really important in this bill so that we can take care of our seniors and allow them to live at home and in dignity. So these are very important things. And I think the reason that this negotiation has been long and trying is, think about it this way, that we took $2 trillion entities, brought them together and negotiated line item by line item and vetted them, which is why there was a lot of debate, and there should be debate. And we should vet things very, very tightly. So if we had two companies coming together with $1 trillion apiece, it would take literally 3 to 5 years to do that. We've done it in about 5 or 6 months. So the fact that we vetted and debated, we're very proud of that. Is it a little unpleasant to watch? Absolutely, but we got it done. And I think Mr. Manchin and Ms. Sinema are, we're vetting what they wanted, and that's fair.
All right, well, that debate's going to continue, and our discussion's going to continue, but we're going to have to leave it here for now. We'll be joined again by the Congress people to discuss who's running for what with Illinois' new congressional map. That'll be interesting. But for now, our thanks to Representative Rodney Davis, Marie Newman, and Raja Krishnamurthy.